Remember in the last episode, I said the new React version is coming? Dan Abramov revealed what the React team is working on last week at JSConf Iceland. This is really exciting, so that's what the entire episode is going to be about.
You're going to hate it, then you're going to love it.
The talk opens with a question. With vast differences in computing power and network speed, how do we deliver the best user experience for everyone? This is even more prominent for developing countries like India. In his talk, Dan talks about two features, time slicing and suspense. You should definitely watch the full video, but I'm going to summarize it in 4 minutes. Let's talk about time slicing first. Okay, so here's the problem. Because your application runs on a single JavaScript thread, high priority updates like user input can get blocked because of low priority updates. Here's an example. I have this list of users that when I type gets filtered. Now, when I start typing, you'll notice that the list is getting rendered, but my keys don't come as fast. That's because a high priority update got blocked because of the low priority but heavy rendering of the list, which blocked the main thread. With time slicing, this is not a problem anymore because React inserts high priority updates in between long-running low priority updates.
And so this is pretty much how React works with time slicing, except that you don't have to rebase anything. React does that work. So React determines how to apply a low priority update on the top. And it can continue working and then flush when everything's ready.
So if you have a fast device, it almost feels synchronous. But if you're on a low CPU powered device, it will still appear pretty responsive. And that's the goal. React does all of this out of the box, but you can also take control if you want to. The API is still gonna change a lot, but in concept, it's already ready. Building good UX is really hard. When you're dealing with asynchronous data fetching, there are multiple things to think about. What do you show while the data is fetching? If the user is on a fast network, do you still show the loader? How do you communicate multiple data fetching requests? And how do you handle your application state through all of this? With suspense, you can pause any state update until the data is fetched.
React rebases the suspended update and can continue when the async dependencies are satisfied and then committed to the DOM.
On a fast network, updates might seem almost instantaneous, but on a slow network, you get to decide which paths are instant and where to show the loader. The key aspect here is that the spinner is tied to the visual rendering of the component and not how you fetch the data.
The exact APIs will change, don't fixate on them too much.
I'm no expert on this, so I reached out to Kent to get his view on.
My first impression is asynchronous code is going to get a lot simpler, and for time slicing, it's just magically going to be faster. The React team reached out to me before presenting it and asked my feelings on it, and that was what I communicated to them was, like, this is an amazing feature, I'm so excited for this, but how on earth are we going to teach this to people? I think I saw Dan respond on some of these threads on Twitter, and he said, listen, like, this is kind of an advanced feature, you don't have to use this feature, you can still, like, do the same old asynchronous stuff that you always did. On top of that, like, is this really that much more complicated than the alternative? Like, right now, fetching data and handling async is actually really complicated and like so varied. And so I'm loving that the React team is kind of taking this, like some of these things that are kind of pains in the React community and baking them into the library. And I think the solution is remarkably good. So I'm looking forward to what the community does with it. I'm sure that some people are going to build some really awesome experiences with this, so I'm looking forward to seeing those demos. All right, hey, thank you so much. I hope that was helpful.
That was very helpful.